Hey all, welcome back to another modded Minecraft video. We're on Less is More, of course. We're going to do a little talk about our biofuel system here, ethanol. This is what I finally kind of put all together. And what we have over here is our fermenters. These turn our mulch and apple oak saplings from our tree farm into biomass. And we also have fruit juice over here instead of water. That's also where we're getting our mulch from currently. All the apples go into the squeezer. That turns it into apple juice, which goes to this tank. Or where actually comes from here, it goes into this tank, and then from down here it's piped out and it goes over to the two fermenters. And then the mulch is piped out here and goes over to the better barrel that then goes into the fermenters also. So that's making our biomass. The biomass is pulled out of there and goes over to these two stills. I could probably even run more stills, and as I add engines, I may do that later. But right now, two is fine. This is what's running our quarry currently. Is four of these compression dynamos. That is a liquid fuel, which is our ethanol, and a coolant, which is water. And each of the engines is upgraded to the cryo coil regulator, which gives it a plus 85% fuel efficiency. So it's not using as much fuel to produce the same amount, or produces more power for the same amount of fuel, I think is how that works. Right now I've got 8, and they're all running full blast, I think, pretty sure, because it's all going over to our second quarry. And it's ripping along much better now than it was before with the tesseract instead of the teleport pipe. Teleport pipe, I can never get more than 4 engines to work with it. I couldn't send any more through. I don't know if it's just the way the telepipe works. You know, it just will only accept that one connection, which kind of blows, but it's good for low-level power, but it's just not very good for something that needs massive power. It takes about 16 ender pearls to make the required enderium and liquid enderium or whatever to fill one of these up. So I had just enough to make 2. It takes 16 to make 2. I think I have 5 left after that. But with the tesseract, it's pumping the power over to the quarry, and we'll go take a look at just how fast that's going in just a second. But I was using saplings and reeds to make it, but I actually shut off the reeds because I was getting way more. I'm actually at a gain for both apples and saplings, even though I'm making fuel out of it. So I'm still getting just a ton out of there. The wheat is very, very slow. Good thing compost lasts a long time. But I'm not even running this. What I'm running is the squeezer. I did not expect to get that much mulch out of it, but because it says about 20% on the tooltips from the squeezer, that about 20% of the time you'll get a mulch. But I guess because it's putting so much out, I'm getting a ton of that stuff. So for now, I'm just going to use the mulch from here to get our power. So it's, you know, whatever you're going to use, wheat, reed, whatever farm you have the most. Sapling is what I have the most of. Goes into your fermenter with mulch and water or juice. Juice gives you about maybe 125 something milliliters extra of fuel over water. So you get more fuel produced from the fruit juice than you do water. So out of there into your still. You can also use the refinery from Buildcraft, but I think that's a more expensive recipe to make it. Plus, I think it takes more power than these do, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm just used to doing this with the still. That's why I use that. So that is all good to go. Our sorting system is actually working over here. I think we looked at this before. These, I was trying to pull the reason there's two on here, which I don't really need, I was trying to pull the cobblestone out of here fast enough, but it just doesn't come out fast enough. Because what should happen, if we go around here and look, let me grab a thing so we can kind of see what we're looking at. See these little swirls at the end, at the bottom of these barrels, some of these barrels. What that means is when it gets to a whatever full for the barrel is, any additional material should be voided, destroyed. But that's not the way this ended up working on a lot of this stuff. A lot of this ends up in my overflow chest over here, which it shouldn't. Like dirt and cobble would all start ending up over here, even though it should be voided. So that's why I added in the diamond pipe here, and that way I can just void it out right here as it comes into the system, because there's just so much coming in that anything that should be voided was backing up in here a little bit. It was taking a little bit of time. Okay, I had a brain fart there. I was looking at the time. If we run over to where the quarry is now, you'll see how much difference there is from the speed it was going before. I mean, it took 4 days, 2, 3, 4 days, something like that, to get that other quarry completed, which is ridiculous. I mean, that's just it was to wait 4 days. I was actually doing mining with the turtles during that time just to get diamonds and stuff because this was so slow. But now you can see how fast it's ripping along there. It's double the power, at least, from what it had before. Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't dumping all the power out of each of the dynamos when it was using the teleport pipe. But this makes it a lot easier for setup. This is just a tesseract connected to the quarry, and a teleport pipe set to the right frequency there, and everything comes out of here and gets shot over. So this is, I started this, last night sometime. I was watching TV, and like I always say, I can't sit down for long, so I'll move from one to the other, back and forth, and since I have quarries running, I'll just let this run when I even get up. And I started this and was kind of watching a show on television from the chair here, and this thing had already torn down through the dirt when I started it up, and I think it had just got into cobble last night when I turned it off and everything, and just from turning it on just a little while ago, it's already ripped, a couple layers down in there. So this is going to be a lot better, and I think I can still add some more engines to this. We'll see. I'm into the resources now. I still need to go. I need to get to the end. I need to find an end portal. I've got to get better access to ender pearls. These sort of things just absolutely depend on it, and I just don't have a reliable source for that right now. So we're in the ethanol, and I think that's going to be a good power source for us. It's definitely upgradable. I can probably add 1 or 2 more stills on there to process the biomass, because the biomass actually is produced really, really quickly. The ethanol is what takes a while. Because the refineries are real slow, and so is the stills. So, but we can move up. So we're definitely in the power, and as you can see, we're starting to get some numbers in. Still a little bit of gold. Our diamonds are kind of shitty. We don't even have a stack of diamonds yet. I probably need to start getting into bees soon, because I think that's going to be our best bet to get things like diamonds and emeralds, because I have not seen a village yet to even snag a villager, so I don't know what we're going to do with that. So that's going to be it for this time. Any questions on setting up that biomass and ethanol kind of factory? Just remember it's refinery, or not refinery, fermenter. Makes your biomass, and then put that into a still or a refinery from Buildcraft, and that will turn it into ethanol, and then you can use the ethanol and other stuff. Oh, and just to, I know we have Railcraft in here, and it has the steam boilers, which are pretty powerful. The reason I went with the dynamos is the ability to lower the fuel consumption. They're just a little bit easier to set up, and you know, they can actually shut off when they're not being used to 0. I added in that augment also, so not only does it use less fuel, over here it actually allows, because dynamos will run all the time unless you manually shut them off. So like if they're on, they'll constantly be putting out about 8 RF a tick. So they're constantly using fuel. With the augment in there that I just showed, the excitation field limiter, that actually allows it to go all the way down to 0. If I can find one that isn't running, like this one, you can see it's at 0 RF a tick. It's not using anything. It's essentially off until it needs to be on. So that's the reason that I went with those dynamos, if you are wondering. So guys, appreciate you coming by. Until next time, see y'all later.